You're listening to the Purdy Girl Podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Kelly Purdy. My mission is to connect military spouses, fiancés, girlfriends, and booty calls worldwide. So let's do this. Hello, welcome back to Purdy Girl Podcast. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope y'all had a good weekend. I stayed pretty productive. Yesterday, I went to the bake sale that our company, just at the 6RTB we do. I think it's once a month or something. Anyway, it was the first one that I went to, and it went well. Aside from the fact that I almost hit 3 animals on the way home. It's just in the middle of freaking nowhere. If you don't have your brights on, you will hit a giant boar. It just is what it is. Also, there was like a coyote and a deer. Anyway, that's the only bad thing about going all the freaking way out there. But it was pretty good. I think we raised a good amount of money. Plus, it's always good to connect with the other military spouses that are in this area. So I want to hop into today's podcast, and it's a topic that I love talking about. I want to chat about productivity, and mostly I want to talk about this because I need help today because it's been pretty challenging on staying productive. So I was like, okay, I need to talk about some hacks, some that I do, some that I need to incorporate on the daily. So if this is like you, if you are, even if you were working from home, if you have a side hustle, if you have a career, I feel like we all could have more productive days, right? So I thought we could chat about it. There are some go-tos that I always love. And I thought of like 5 or 6 that I want to chat about today. The first thing that I want to chat about, I am not particularly good at this one, and I want to be better at it. And it's the first thing that popped into my mind. And so I figured, why not share it with you guys? So it all starts for the night before. Planning your day before you go to bed. Time blocking exactly what you want your day to look like, what time you're going to get up, how long you're going to do your morning routine, how long you need for a workout, and even scheduling in some buffer time as well. Travel time, that's a big deal. If you don't do that, you might not make it. But I want to get better at this. I feel like having a nightly routine is essential to having a productive day. So I have a pretty good nightly routine. Could be better, but it's something I'm really proud of that I started doing is washing my face every day. I feel like I wish I would have started this in forever, especially in my early 20s. But really, since I turned 30, I was like, okay, hi, this is a priority. So wash your face, brush your teeth, which I just started doing this year. JK. Brush your teeth. I did start flossing more regularly this year, which I am really proud of myself. And when I say this year, I mean ever since I turned 30. So almost, 1 full year next month. Put lotion all over, get in bed. And this is what I want to put in place, which normally I get in bed, maybe I'll read a little bit, and then I always put on The Office or Parks and Rec, and I fall asleep. And I do not know why I cannot break this habit, you guys. It's just there. It's how I fall asleep. But what I would love to do is hop in bed and open up my calendar and plan the next day and put it in literally block by block, hour by hour, on what makes the most sense and how I'm going to be the most productive. And then I would like to read a chapter and go to bed. 1 chapter of the book that we're reading for book club and call it a night, because that always makes me super sleepy. And I probably would sleep better than falling asleep watching Parks and Rec. I don't know. The thing with using the calendar that's helpful is sharing with your family. So me and B have a shared calendar. Some things I don't share every single thing with him, but like my doctor's appointments coming up, I always will share with him. So he always knows what's going on. And I feel like we will utilize this constantly, especially as our family grows. So I don't know if you guys can do that on like Google Calendar, or I just use my Apple phone, but it's really helpful. So the second productivity hack that's always a good reminder for everybody is just start small. With whatever project, if you're like wanting to clean out that closet or you're really wanting to tackle the garage, just start small. Maybe dedicate 20 minutes to a certain corner of the garage, or maybe just having that question in your mind of like, what's a tiny step that I could do today that would get me a little bit closer to accomplishing this goal. So something that's really daunting to me is just emailing, like cold emailing potential sponsors. It's so daunting to me. And every day I'm like, okay, what's just a tiny step that I can do to get closer to just email? Like once I get into the rhythm of it, it'll be fine. So what I did last week was I had so much resistance around it. And I'm like, okay, what's a tiny step I could do? Well, I could start making a list of potential sponsors that I would love, or just companies I would love to work with. So I made a list. And then I think a couple days later, again, so much resistance. It's like, what if I just started an email that's kind of like a good template of, or just an example of an email that I could tweak for each individual company? Okay, I could do that. So that always helps me, just asking myself, what's a tiny, teeny step I could do today, and do that thing. The third productivity hack, maybe you've heard it before, maybe you haven't, but it's the 2-minute rule. If it's going to take you less than 2 minutes, you have to do it. It's a rule. It is concrete, tattooed on your forehead. You must do it. Loading the dishes, that's going to take you less than 2 minutes. Folding the laundry, well, depending. Most of the time, I can do it pretty dang quick. Or just putting some things away, less than 2 minutes, just do it. I think you'll surprise yourself at certain things that you can do. Wiping down the counter, just do it. The fourth productivity hack, love this one. Wake up just an hour earlier than you normally would. So if you have to be out the door no later than 8 a.m. and you know that you want to get a workout in, obviously shower, so schedule that in and then set your alarm for an hour before that. That way you're not so rushed and you can enjoy your cup of coffee, maybe do some reading and writing or meditating in the morning. And it's not so wake up, your cortisol spiked, and it's go, go, go for 12 hours straight. I feel like waking up an hour earlier and just having that you time makes a huge difference. I know it does for me in my productivity. So the fifth hack is setting a timer. I do this all the time. I personally work better in sprints rather than a marathon. So I know I can do 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes sometimes of like hardcore focus work. And then I need like a 5-minute break. And I can do this like 20 on, 5 off, 20 on, 5 off all day. And whether that's 5 minutes of just like sitting down and drinking a cup of coffee or sitting down and checking social media, I don't know, but I will set a timer. And as soon as that timer's goes off, I'm done. Like you have to stay super dedicated. And it's kind of like a little game I play with myself, but seems to be pretty effective. Maybe not, maybe it would work for you. Maybe not. I don't know. Give it a try and just switch around the times if you need to. Like if you have an office job where you need to do like a couple hours of work, set your timer and then go walk around the office or go for a walk outside. Something to break up the monotony of the day usually helps with staying productive. So I would love to know if you guys have any productivity hacks. Obviously, I am no expert, but these are certain things that have helped me. And I just like touching base and just kind of reevaluating what works for me, what I could change, what could I tweak. And hopefully this was helpful for you. If you have any productivity hacks, let me know. I would love to share even more, maybe next week. But other than that, I hope you guys have the best day and stay productive. Thank you for listening to Purdy Girl Podcast. If you have a second, please rate and review and share this podcast with somebody you think would love it. See you next week.